What's up, guys? It's Josh here, back with another Kansas City Chiefs related video. And before we get into the video, I wanted to ask you guys a quick question of which layout you like better for my video. So there's this one that I'm using for this video, and it's where you get the little waveform along with a picture of the player and everything like that. So it's better than staring at a blank image. Or do you guys prefer one of my older ones that has my intro and then maybe the occasional highlight or two while I talk about the player in front of a still image? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just go back and watch one of my little bit older videos and just let me know what you think after that. But yeah, leave in the comments which layout you like better, and I'll try to stick with that one. But without further ado, let's get into it. So today I wanted to make a video on practice squad receiver Jody Fortson. So Jody Fortson has been on the practice squad for a few seasons now for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was originally picked up as an undrafted free agent out of Valdosta State College, and since then he's been a practice squad player and has shown a lot in the preseason and in preseason camp. And I wanted to talk about him today because I think that this could be the year that if Fortson is going to break out, this is the year it's going to happen, and I think he has a really good chance to make the roster. Some of you may even remember Fortson from 2019 preseason. In the last one of the last game of the preseason, Fortson played against the Green Bay Packers exclusively, and he had a really nice catch that was a really nice imitation of Megatron, where he went up and over the defender to make the catch, used his length, and then he also had a touchdown catch in that game as well as a forced fumble on special teams. Some of you might remember Fortson, some of you might not, but the problem that Fortson has had to deal with is there was no preseason last year because of COVID and the changing around of the schedule, so we really didn't get to see Fortson at all, and he didn't get a chance to shine or anything during games, so it was really just unfortunate for him. But if you remember back to the 2019 preseason, he flashed a lot, and also rumor has it, well, I say rumor, I mean, Nate Taylor from The Athletic reported it, and other guys that were covering Chiefs camp last year, that Fortson actually ran with the first team receivers at times when other players were out or injured, or just because they wanted to see Fortson run with the ones, which I think is really significant when you consider his chances of making the roster. Even though Fortson didn't have an incredibly impressive college career at Valdosta State, I think that's how you say it, Valdosta State, something like that. I mean, many of you probably haven't even heard of it. It's D2, I believe. Fortson only recorded 37 receptions for 477 yards and 7 touchdowns while he was there. And while those aren't exactly eye-popping stats, Fortson did have several highlight reel catches that showed off his potential, as he is 6'6" and 230 pounds, and his size and athleticism gave him an incredible catch radius and jump ball ability, which is why I think the Chiefs brought him in the first place. Where Fortson really lacks, and what I think has kept him off the field for the Chiefs so far, is he doesn't have a ton of speed. He reportedly ran a 4.8 40-yard dash as a wide receiver, which is not great. And, this Chiefs receiving core is all about speed. The Chiefs' theme on offense is speed, and Fortson doesn't really fit that. However, I think he has a future as a nice possession receiver that has, like the size advantage I was talking about. Because even though it'll be easy for defensive backs to stick with him, Fortson's just size and length, I think, offsets his deficient speed, because, I mean, if you just throw up a 50-50 ball, I mean, Fortson is coming down with that like 99% of the time. He just is massive, like I said, 6'6", so that's a lot of size you're dealing with there. Fortson is also a pretty crisp route runner, and I think he has plenty of strength to try and beat the press. And if he's come along in those two areas even more since, he's been on the practice squad, that would bode well for his chances to make the roster too. The really interesting thing about Fortson too, though, is this wide receiver room is probably going to be pretty stacked, especially if the Chiefs draft another receiver, which, is kind of isn't great for Fortson. But the thing about it is he has that size that we talked about. which means he could potentially line up at tight end. And I think the Chiefs even tried him out at tight end before, which would be really, really interesting. And honestly, that tight end 2 spot on this roster is up for grabs between Kaiser, Bell, and Fortson. And if Fortson could become a nice little tight end piece, that would be really interesting. And the thing is Ryan Tracy from RGR Football, who I did an interview with a couple weeks ago. I remember back in before the 2020 draft last year, he really liked Chase Claypool as someone the Chiefs could take and turn into a tight end because of his size and the way he moves. And Fortson is similar in that aspect. He's not quite as fast or athletic as Chase Claypool, but he definitely has a similar build and has a skill set that could replicate him in a way to where he could line up at tight end and be an interesting piece there. And, learning behind Travis Kelce, that would be really interesting. So I would look out for that maybe this offseason. With Jody Fortson potentially fighting for the tight end 2 spot to keep him on roster, because unless he beats out, Tajay Sharp, Antonio Callaway, Byron Pringle, it's going to be tough to see how he gets playing time once again, especially since he wasn't up for any of the COVID call-ups at receiver this year. It was all Gary Dieter, which I don't really understand. I don't really think Dieter offers too much. And also Fortson, one thing that has to be true about you if you're going to be a bottom of the roster guy for Andy Reid. You got to be good on special teams, and I think Fortson has shown that he's been good on special teams, like we talked about in that one Packers preseason game. He was at gunner, and he forced a fumble on a return. And he used his long arms to get in there and force that fumble. So I think that's worth noting, and I think Fortson, if he could contribute on special teams too, that would really help his chances a lot too. So yeah, that's really all I got to say, guys. I just wanted to make a quick video talking about the potential breakout of Jody Fortson in 2021. I really hope he makes the roster. I'm cheering for him. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you agree, disagree, and whatnot. But make sure you like, share, subscribe so other Chiefs fans can find this video, and make sure to check me out on showmefootball.com and Arrowhead Addict. That's all I got for today, guys. Peace.